Hey everyone, welcome back to TalkFluent. How's everyone doing today?
Yeah, hey guys. So, James, can I ask you something that happened to me yesterday?
Yeah, of course. What happened?
Okay, so I was in a meeting and someone was explaining this really complicated process. And halfway through, I realized I have no idea what they're talking about. I was completely lost.
Oh no. So what did you do? Did you just pretend to understand?
That's the thing. I wanted to ask for clarification, but I didn't know how to say I'm confused politely without sounding dumb.
And that is exactly what we're teaching today. How to talk in English when you feel confused.
Right, because everyone gets confused sometimes, but most people don't know the natural, polite ways to express it.
Exactly. Whether you're in a classroom, a meeting, talking to a doctor, or just chatting with friends, you need to know how to say, I don't understand, without feeling embarrassed.
So today, we're teaching you all the phrases, expressions, and strategies for handling confusion in English politely, naturally, and confidently.
This is such practical English. You'll use these phrases all the time.
All right, so hit that like button if you've ever felt confused in English and didn't know what to say.
Yeah. And drop a comment. What confuses you the most when speaking English? Grammar? Vocabulary? Fast speakers? Tell us.
And if you're new to TalkFluent, welcome. We're James and Sophie, and we teach practical, real world English. Subscribe so you don't miss our regularly lessons.
All right, let's talk about confusion.
Okay, James, so let's start with the basics. What's the simplest way to say you're confused?
The most basic way is just, I'm confused. Simple and direct.
Right. Or you can say, I don't understand. That's probably the most common one.
You can also say, I'm lost, which means you're confused about what's being discussed.
Or, I'm not following, which means you don't understand the explanation or the logic.
Here's a more casual one. Wait, what? This shows surprise and confusion at the same time.
Wait, what is so natural? I say that all the time.
And if something doesn't make sense to you, you say, that doesn't make sense to me.
Or, I'm not sure I get it, which is a softer way of saying you don't understand.
I don't get it is super casual. Friends say this to each other all the time. So those are the basic phrases. Now let's talk about polite ways to express confusion, especially in professional settings.
Right, because sometimes you need to be more polite, especially with teachers, bosses, or strangers.
So instead of I don't understand, you can say, I'm sorry, I didn't quite catch that.
Didn't quite catch that is perfect. It's polite, and it implies the problem might be that you didn't hear clearly.
Or you can say, could you explain that again, please?
Or, I'm sorry, I'm a bit confused. Could you clarify?
Could you clarify is so professional. It shows you want to understand better.
Another polite one, I'm not sure I understand. Could you rephrase that?
Rephrase means to say it in a different way. That's really useful.
Or you can say, sorry, could you break that down for me? Break it down means to explain it in smaller, simpler parts. Love that phrase.
And here's a really professional one. I want to make sure I understand correctly. Could you go over that again?
That's perfect for meetings. It shows you're engaged and you want to understand fully.
All right, Sophie. Sometimes you're not confused about everything, just one specific part. How do you ask about that?
Great question. So you can say, wait, I'm confused about one thing. What did you mean by...
Yes, or can you clarify what you meant when you said,
Or, I understand most of it, but I'm confused about the part where you said...
that's great because it shows you were paying attention. You're just confused about one specific thing.
You can also ask, what do you mean by that? When someone uses a word or phrase you don't understand.
Or, more politely, could you explain what you mean by?
And if someone uses a technical term, you can say, sorry, I'm not familiar with that term. What does it mean?
Or, I haven't heard that word before. Could you define it?
These phrases show you're actively trying to learn, which people really respect.
Okay, but what if you're not just a little confused, you're completely lost, like you have no idea what's going on?
Right. That happens sometimes. So you can say, I'm sorry, I'm totally lost. Could you start from the beginning?
Or, I'm completely confused. Can we back up a bit?
Back up means to go back to an earlier point. Super useful.
You can also say, I'm sorry, I'm not following it all. Could you explain it a different way?
Or, I'm having trouble understanding this. Could you give me an example?
Asking for an example is so smart. Examples make everything clearer.
And if you're in a class or training, you can say, I'm sorry, I'm really struggling with this concept. Could you help me understand it?
Struggling with this concept shows you're making an effort, but you need help. That's completely okay.
Remember, it's always better to ask than to pretend you understand.
All right, so someone explains something to you. How do you check if you understood correctly?
You can say, so let me see if I understand. You're saying that,
Or, just to clarify, are you saying that?
or so if I understand correctly, it means,
These phrases show you're actively listening and you want to confirm your understanding.
you can also say, let me make sure I've got this right, and then summarize what they said.
Or, so basically, what you're saying is.
And after you summarize, they'll say, yes, exactly, or not quite, let me clarify. Either way, you're showing you're engaged and you want to understand. People really appreciate that.
Okay, James, here's a common problem. Someone's speaking too fast and you can't follow. What do you say?
Great question. You can say, I'm sorry, could you speak a bit slower, please?
Or, you're speaking a bit fast. Could you slow down a little?
Don't be shy about asking. Most people don't realize they're speaking fast.
You can also say, I'm sorry, I missed that. Could you repeat it more slowly?
Or, could you say that again, but a bit slower this time? And if they're using complicated vocabulary while speaking fast, you can say, could you use simpler words? I'm having trouble keeping up.
Keeping up means following along. That's a really natural phrase.
Most native speakers are happy to slow down once you ask.
All right, this is a sensitive one. What if you don't understand someone because of their accent or because they're not speaking clearly?
Right. You want to be polite about it. So you can say, I'm sorry, I'm having a hard time understanding. Could you repeat that?
You're not mentioning their accent. You're just saying you're having trouble understanding. That's polite.
Or, I didn't catch that. Could you say it again, please?
Didn't catch that is perfect because it doesn't blame anyone.
You can also say, could you write that down for me if you really can't understand through listening?
Or, I'm sorry, I'm not hearing you clearly. Could you speak up a bit?
Speak up means speak louder. Sometimes that helps with clarity.
The key is to stay polite and patient. Don't get frustrated. Just keep asking until you understand.
Okay, Now, let's talk about casual situations with friends. You can be much less formal.
Right. With friends, you can just say, dude, what are you talking about?
Or, I have no idea what you mean.
Or you lost me, which means you don't understand at all.
Or just, huh? Or, what? Very casual.
If a friend is explaining something complicated, you can say, whoa, slow down, you're losing me.
Or, wait, back up. I don't get it.
With close friends, you can even say, that makes zero sense to me.
Or, I'm so confused right now in a playful way.
And friends will usually laugh and try to explain it better. It's all casual and comfortable.
All right, so someone takes the time to explain something to you. How do you respond?
If you understand now, you say, oh, okay, that makes sense now.
Or, got it. Thanks for explaining.
Or, ah, I see, I understand now.
I see is such a natural way to show understanding.
You can also say, oh, okay, so basically it's like, and then give your own example.
That shows you really understood it.
And always thank them. Thanks for clarifying, or I appreciate you explaining that.
But if you're still confused after they explain, be honest. I'm sorry, I'm still a bit confused about.
Yes, don't pretend you understand if you don't. Keep asking until it's clear.
All right, James, let's put everything together with some full examples.
Perfect. Okay, scenario one. You're in a meeting and you're confused.
Excuse me, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I'm a bit confused. Could you clarify what you meant by synergy?
Oh, sure. Synergy means when different teams work together and the result is better than if they worked separately.
Ah, got it. So it's about collaboration creating better outcomes.
Exactly. You've got it.
See how natural that was? Polite, clear, and effective.
Scenario two. A friend is telling you a complicated story.
Wait, I'm lost. Who's Alex? I thought you were talking about Sam.
Oh, sorry. Alex is Sam's cousin. Let me back up and explain from the start.
Okay, yeah, start from the beginning.
Casual, friendly, and totally normal between friends.
Scenario 3. You're learning something new.
I'm sorry, I'm really struggling with this. Could you give me an example?
Sure. So imagine you're at the grocery store.
Oh, okay. That example really helps. I think I understand now.
Perfect. Asking for examples makes everything so much clearer.
All right, everyone. Your turn. Drop a comment right now. What confuses you the most when learning English?
Yeah. Is it grammar, pronunciation, idioms, fast speakers? Tell us. We want to know what topics we should cover next.
And if this video helps you feel more confident expressing confusion, hit that like button.
Subscribe to TalkFluent for more practical English lessons like this.
We love this community, and we love hearing from you.
Seriously, your comments help us create better lessons.
All right, quick recap of everything we learned.
Simple ways. I'm confused. I don't understand. I'm lost. Wait, what?
Polite ways. Could you explain that again? Could you clarify? Could you break that down?
Specific questions. What did you mean by. Could you define that term?
When completely lost, could you start from the beginning? Could you give me an example?
Confirming understanding. So, if I understand correctly, let me see if I've got this right.
Handling fast speakers. Could you speak slower? I'm having trouble keeping up.
Casual with friends. You lost me. What are you talking about? Huh?
And remember, it's always okay to ask for clarification. Never pretend you understand.
That